AAM, my new employee keeps tagging us in negative social media posts after we've told her to stop. I am not Op. Op is a reader who submitted to ask a manager on April 29, 2020. Source with Allison Green's advice. My company hired a new employee just before the pandemic work from home shift. We were hesitant to hire her for my department to begin with. She didn't have glowing recommendations and she's got a patchy work history. But she has experience in the one thing we can't train on right now. So we hired her reluctantly. It turns out she's an overshare on social media and a list post person. Every single detail of her day is listed in a giant personal social media post at least 3 or 4 times a day. And she tags everyone she comes in contact with. Businesses, products, people. It's unusual. We had about a week in office with her before we had to switch to telework. She was very opinionated about how we did things and doesn't really want to participate in feedback or training. She'd also go home every day and write a long, detailed post about who she interacted with, what she did all day, and her opinions about it, and then tag her coworkers and our company. It was borderline negative, critical of the company that really reflected more on her as a person and less on how we do things. I'm not sure if she realizes how it looks or if she's just an overshare. We've got a pretty straightforward social media policy. Don't tag us. Don't list us as your place of work. And don't friend or interact with your superiors on social media. Most of our managers don't have social media anyway, and we have an internal policy not to friend our subordinates on social media. That keeps management out of it pretty well. We were very clear on this policy when she was hired. I reached out to her and reminded her of the policy. And I ended up tagged in one of her long, daily, detailed posts. HR reached out to her and reminded her of the policy and that while her social media is her space, to not tag and mention our company by name and to appropriately address needs, questions, and conflicts through the right channels. She then complained about that. With direct tags on social media, other than this glaring issue, the quality of her work is okay. It's not stellar, and it's not bad, but her attitude is a mess. I'm new as a manager. My team and I all get along and have great boundaries. I'm not sure if she's a bad fit or if we need to give her more time. Her 30-day review is due next week. Would I be wrong to recommend we let her go and wish her well? Is this behavior just because of the general stress we're all under? I don't want to put someone out of work if we don't have to. But I also don't want to poison the well. We have such a great and positive team and wonderful rapport with customers that I don't want to jeopardize. Update posted on June 1, 2020. I have a quick, hilarious update for you. I checked in with my boss and HR about our 30-day review and my instinct to let her go. I was told because of the pandemic and people being stressed out to give her a final warning more time and let her know we were extending her probation. I get where they were coming from and it's why I enjoy working with them. They try to be understanding and led with kindness when someone makes poor choices. The staff member, myself, and my boss met with her via a video conferencing app. Little did I know she was live streaming her freaking 30-day review. She legitimately had a screen share app up and was running it on Facebook Live. There was nothing else I could do then and now but laugh. We ended the call when we found out about 10 minutes in and wrote up formal termination paperwork that we mailed to her, wishing her well. The team was great about picking up slack and dividing her tasks and projects. We found a contractor for overflow. She emailed me this morning for a reference, which I forwarded to our. That's one for the WTF books. Allison then asks Op if she had a theory about what this was all about. We think she's aiming to be an influencer of some kind, based on all social media she has. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, a YouTube channel, Twitter, some multiple accounts. It looks like that's what she's aiming for. Good luck to her. Again, not op. These posts came from Ask a Manager. She belongs on I'm the main character. You think she'll ever realize that the people around her aren't just background NPCs? My jaw dropped so low and for so long that I drooled on myself a little at her live streaming her 30-day review. What the fuck? If she wants to be an influencer, shouldn't she produce real content and not just write everything down that happens during her day? No one cares that you had an egg roll for lunch, Deborah, and your cat puking on your carpet isn't more interesting either. I've seen so many of these, a day in the life of X job at Y company, pop up in the last few years. Maybe she's collecting all of these like infinity stones. And once she has all of them, she'll get snapped out of the industry. Was she an influence for how to lose a job? 3 or 4 posts a day. What is this, 2007? I really hope they didn't give her a reference. She sounds like a nightmare for any place where other people are or could potentially be. Give her a final warning one more time. Lol. Oop was way too patient. The employee should have been given one warning and then immediate termination for violation of their social media policy. I will not associate with people like her. I used to know people like that and they are so mentally draining. It's not worth the friendship. When they are a coworker, oh yeah, I'd do everything in my power to ignore them and not be their friend. I'm not trying to get involved with their BS. It all worked out for Oop and the business. She was a liability and an idiot for freaking live streaming a review. Nobody does that. Except her. I don't know why, but my favorite part of this story is that they mailed her the termination letter. I'm wondering if her mom called HR after to yell at them for firing her. A friend was a trainer for a large corporations and she had mothers of adults call her because she told the employee they made a mistake. She had grown adult employees who literally had never been accountable to anyone else ever. They were homeschooled, never participated in sports, never had extracurricular activities. And then when she corrected them, moms would call and say she hurt their child's feelings. I couldn't do it. The company should have blocked her after the first tag. Some MLM scheme is going to love getting their hands into the employee. She isn't going to get hired. She has likely made herself pretty unhireable. Dude, my company has really strict rules about their media presence. One of the first rules I was told was not to tag them in negative posts. I mean, duh, why would any company want that? I solved that problem by, not mentioning where I work on my FB feed at all. No one needs to know much else than I'm in customer service. And I leave it at that. This person is the poster child for the benefits of a probationary period. Anyone else find it odd that ops company disallows listing them as place of work? How TF these people get hired? Meanwhile, I have one unexplained 2-year gap and even though the other 20 years is solid. That's what kills me. The gap I was working just for myself irregularly just to get by cause my PTSD wasn't medicated at the time and I had a spiral. But you can't say you had 2-year mental health break. But also, what kind of rule is it to not list your work on any social media? This is going on my FB jobs list and my LinkedIn. Oh my god. So many companies these days check your social media before hiring you. She'll be lucky to find a job after that stunt.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.